spelling. I'm pretty sure I can find a video. Let me find. While you are looking for your spelling notebooks.
Okay.
We're good, ready to go.
I know. You're normally pretty much ready to go. Jojo Siwa. Let me see. V/C.
My cousin, she likes Jojo Siwa.
A lot of people like Jojo Siwa. Let me see.
I haven't watched Jojo Siwa in a long time at all.
Daniel, why do you always bring those little blue things? Those little, I don't know.
It's his friend.
Friend? Like how you have avocado?
Oh yeah, he's sleeping next to my unicorn. Avocado.
I want to find one where it's like teaches us how to do this.
Ow. No. Could you find it? Oh, I'll just look for it.
Why do I hear piano?
Beat Larry James.
What is that for? Oh.
I'm determined for you to answer my call.
1, 2.
With
1,
on
2.
your test. Like I will probably help you with 5 through 10 on your test because it's kind of hard.
No, I don't need help with it. It's just that I wanted to solve the sentences.
I'm talking about everybody else. Okay, are we ready? Our first word is proper. 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 How many sounds in proper? Should I use my erasable pen? I probably should, right? I tend to make mistakes. Proper. Hello? Is anybody there? Proper. How many sounds?
I'm letting you know I can't hear you because I don't have my headphones on.
Ew, why don't you have your headphones on? Where are they?
5?
Yes. Gracias, Vida, for answering. Is that a short O or a long O? Proper.
Short O.
Not a short O. Short O. All right.
I need to find a page in my spelling notebook.
So,
This one it. Oh, it is. How come you have a lot more pages?
I don't have more than y'all. Look, I'm about to run out too. I don't think I have that many. See?
Yeah, how about, because I already ran out by 3 times.
I have what, one? I have probably what, 2 more weeks left, I think. Like I said, remember what I said yesterday? Just draw a line straight down and turn these into the boxes if y'all have to.
I only have 1 more page.
So we got
One more page with the grid or fully 1 more page?
1 more page of the grid.
all right, I'm writing the pattern VC.
I got 1 more page.
This is what you need to know. All right, what's our next one? Humor. Humor.
I need to write that down because I just found the page.
I'm gonna miss the whole lesson because I don't have any pages.
Look, what did I tell you yesterday? Go like this. Draw lines all the way down one of these. Emma, and turn them into boxes. You see?
I've been doing.
I know
I've been doing that for 3 days.
They may not look straight, but it doesn't matter. Just turn them into boxes.
Yeah.
For y'all that are running out of pages, I know, look how terrible mine look. Just turn it into one of these. It's okay. You can write the word next to there. I'm not going to make your parents come pick up a new spelling notebook. They had the same problem here at school. Luckily, they get printed ones because they're at school. If you've got grid paper, Emma, use grid paper. Do you have grid paper somewhere? I think you have it in that math. You can use grid paper.
I have a page, right? I have a page.
If you have to, this is what we're going to have to do. I'm not going to make your parents come pick up a spelling notebook for the rest of the school year. If I would have known y'all, I guess we could have put more in there, I guess. It is what it is.
Are you just gonna have to do this the rest of the school year?
Yeah, I'll do the same thing with y'all too. So, I mean, I'm
Hey,
eventually.
look, I have one more page.
All right. You got humor. The only one that probably will not run out is Charlie because he got one like halfway through this year. Humor. Y'all will live. Trust me. Humor. Humor. Humor.
Humor.
Is it 4?
This pen, see, I can't. Is that you along you? Humor.
Long U.
Yeah, so that means it's V/CV. So it's right here. I'll show you right here. Humor. CV. That's the important part right there.
What is next?
Hold on.
My cousins left yesterday.
That's exciting, I guess. Or no, that's not exciting. Maybe.
Yay, that's exciting. So then it's less annoying.
No, it's not exciting. There were girls.
Oh,
That was my only chance to play with them. Because I'm lonely.
Go back to school. Ha ha.
no, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You're
Balance.
just lonely with gender, not with.
Balance. Balance.
My hair is so bad.
Balance.
Balance. Balance.
6,
Yep, you're one off, B though. Close.
7. 7.
That's Emma, because you got confused, because it sounded like.
No, I said.
But actually,
Oh, wait, it was actually Mira? I didn't know that.
No, it was me. It was me. I
It was
said.
Emma the first time. Vita, I heard 5 the first time, but
At first I said 5.
That's so confusing.
And then I said 6. And then
Why does everybody say sound like her? I don't. I literally.
No, it's just because the mic. You don't sound like her just because your mic. The mic.
I know
yeah, your mic, Emma.
let's keep going. Come on, get it down.
5 and then I said
Hurts. The only reason why I'm sad is because my cousins left. And actually, I get to see them most of the time.
You have your brothers, though.
No, they're annoying.
Pilot.
Because it kind of seems the opposite.
Pilot.
5.
don't worry, Tess have a terrible connection.
Who, you?
Is it pilots?
Pilot. Yes.
Plot.
That a long I or a short I?
Pilot.
Long I.
Plot.
Yeah.
Plot.
Pilots.
V/TV.
I have bad interconnection. Can you hear? There's 5G at my other grandma's house.
The internet's ridiculous. I swear, nobody. It's only me at my house, and the internet is just it has dead spots. It's terrible. Some days.
So many
Wow.
people use
They're not
it.
the only
I remember the last time my Wi-Fi was off for the whole week, and I was glitching a whole bunch.
Whole week? Or was it?
A whole
Was it a
week.
power outage, or was just the Wi-Fi was?
No, the Wi-Fi
so
was
bad.
That's
working.
just because a lot of people are using it.
A lot of people don't use. Well, actually, yeah.
Like when I
Because
think everybody,
Caleb's on the tablet, and then Ethan's on the tablet, and then
Recording.
Grandma's
That's what I
probably
have to
watching
do.
TV.
On
That my
Zoom.
uncle's using the PlayStation, and
That's
then
what I
I'm
used to have
using
to do.
this, and then my brother's using the laptop.
Exactly. A lot of people are quarantined, and we have to do school, we have to do work, we have to do like meetings.
We have to eat.
Right. What's our next one? Credit.
Yes, we will have to eat, but that's not what I'm trying to say.
Credit.
Credit. If you wish to receive credit for your work, you need to turn it in. Credit.
6.
Yes. Is that a short E or a long E? 1, 2, 5, 6. Credit. Credit. Short, isn't it?
Credit.
What I had to do is I had my tablet, the computer, my Switch, and the Xbox all on.
Wow. My brother used to have a laptop. An Xbox.
It.
It was the Xbox 360.
Oh, I'm like, what happened?
I don't know what happened to it. We're all just guessing. We used to have this little blue thing that I think it was my aunt gave me. No, it wasn't. It was mine.
Charlie, are you getting them down? Daniel, are you getting them down? Remember, this part right here.
I haven't done it yet because I couldn't even charge it because it was broken, but my dad fixed it. And I'm going to be funding my spelling right now.
Okay, can you please go find it quickly? I don't want you missing this. This is real important for Friday.
I can't even turn off my computer.
Did I find out how much snow Connecticut ended up getting? I think it was like 12 inches yesterday.
12 inches? That's a lot.
12
And
inches.
I'm using the space button instead
No
to
way.
unmute.
And 4 inches.
All y'all, what Connecticut needs to do, they need people to eat the snow.
It was like, I think, well, I told you on the morning it was what, 4? And then by the end of the day, I think they said it was like 12.
I watched this TikTok.
What is that? I don't get that.
It literally snowed for like almost 24 hours, I think.
Ooh, I would love to eat all the snow.
I watched this TikTok.
Yeah, then you get a free snow cone.
I would not eat the snow.
You still watch TikTok?
All right, final.
I was joking.
How many sounds in final?
These people were eating snow, and this person burnt it to see how much dirt they actually.
How many sounds in final?
Time for stories.
5.
Yeah, y'all save the stories for later. Final.
Wow, my cousin watched TikTok too. She's really addicted to it.
I watch TikToks every
And she loves Cobra Kai.
Final. It's a long I, right?
I don't know
Then
what the heck
why
is
don't you
Cobra
just
Kai.
troll her? Why don't you, whenever she comes, why don't you just troll her and then turn off the internet or something? And then she won't be able
No. Her phone already died.
All right, let's stay on track. Modern. Ooh.
5.
Yes. Write it through here. 3, 4.
Come on, other people answer other than me. Me.
Please, modern. Rio's been answering.
Yeah, and Emma.
Why is it so glitchy for me? It's so glitchy for me. Even this is 5G. I don't know why. Maybe because it's the school internet or something.
Wow, it's never glitchy for me, but sometimes it is.
Charlie, did you find your spelling notebook?
I finished my
Yeah.
art.
Okay.
Only a little bit of people were in art.
Okay.
That is very surprising.
Well, Emma said
I wasn't in art
Yeah, why?
because I had to go pick up food.
Okay, found a page.
I could eat, so then I would be already able to eat, and then so my mom had to pick me up.
Yeah, you had an excuse.
but y'all remember, y'all are in school though. Y'all should still be going to school. And
Yeah, I went to art. I think
it's not a
Charles went to art.
power. I know y'all are different than other people, but if y'all were normally in school, y'all would have to do those things. So
And Christian was in art.
don't think because you're at home you don't have to go and participate. You're still in school. You're still
I
in.
know, but I couldn't participate.
Students. Students.
Who muted me, or did I mute myself?
No, students.
What? What do you? Oh, that's the word. Oh,
No, 7. I was about to say 6, cause I was not counting the dots I put.
It's a long U, so then it's gonna go here. And I can tell you right now, if you're not putting this VC and CV and all of that, you're gonna have trouble here later on. Or
Z. Z.
I did modern wrong.
When you're done, can you wait for me because I'm gonna be done pretty soon.
I did that one wrong. Oh man, I did that one wrong. I did modern wrong. See, I didn't use my erasable pen. Ugh, I did this one wrong. Jeez.
Miss Hernandez.
Sorry, I did that one wrong. I'm not gonna erase the word modern, but it's supposed to be behind the D. Sorry.
How dare you?
Sorry, I did it wrong. I can erase it on here.
Okay.
Well, I stopped using my erasable pen because it was like running out of.
Wow, that looks. Yeah, that.
It's like a mess. I know.
It looks like a marker, and you're just writing over it. That's what it looks like.
It's supposed to be there. Sorry, because I don't. When we do the spelling page in here, probably tomorrow, Thursday, you need to know that.
Check if you have any more mistakes.
That's it.
Yeah, that just looks really bad. It looks like.
Hey, leave it alone. Vivid.
Vivid.
Shining in my eye.
Vivid.
5.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it right there? Orange.
Don't get the pattern wrong this time.
Right here. Right there. Vivid. It's a short I. It's real quick. Vivid.
5.
Okay, I'll make sure I did it right. Vivid. VC/V.
VC/V.
What does vivid mean?
Like
Fast.
not vivid, like detailed. Like
Detail.
somebody told a very vivid story.
I'm tired.
It's like detailed, I believe. Let me see. Vivid. Yeah, so detailed, clear. It says powerful feelings are strong, clear images of in the mind. So very, I guess, like detailed, clear.
Who's coughing?
Yes. Focus.
Oh no, it's Emma.
Focus.
Are you okay, Emma?
Focus.
I am focused.
No, that's our word. Focus.
Oh, okay.
That's so coincidental. That was.
Focus.
5.
Yes. Is that a long O or short O? O. S.
Long O.
Bingo. So it's V/CV. Focus. We will be reading our story next. We're comparing point of view over 2 texts this week. Point of view is our skill.
Skittles.
When
I
you're
love
done with this,
Skittles.
have your reading. You have your mind view nearby.
I've accidentally flipped the page for the story, and it looks pretty cool. I like the art of it.
I don't remember what's the view.
It's like a guy that looks like Harry Potter with a hat. I don't know.
From last year. Be thinking about what point of view it's from. Is it realistic fiction or is it fiction? All those good things. Daniel, did you get these down? I'm drinking a big red right now this early in the morning. You know, I haven't drank a Coke in like 10 years.
You haven't drinking one in years?
In 10 years. It's been 10 years.
Well, I haven't drank in a.
I used to drink them a lot when I was like
now.
nauseated. I'd be drinking like 3 or 4 a day, which is really bad.
Done.
All right, we ready to read our story? Wesley,
I'm sure I am.
you thinking? Before we start, let's talk about point of view. First person point of view. Who's telling the story? Who remembers?
The narrator.
Narrator. So the person in the story is the narrator. What pronouns do y'all see in there that tell you it's first person point of view? Let me find the story. Discuss. Is it we, us, he, she, I, me, my? What are some common pronouns? In first person point of view. Y'all remember? I'll go over that anchor chart again. Have your My View book. Page, what page? Page. It's page 121. Oh, sorry. Page 20, I think it's page 121. The anchor chart. Y'all see the anchor chart? Page 121. Let's go to page 121 real fast. Points of view. Let's review that. Start there. Points of view you need to know for your test on Friday. FYI. Text 121. It's got the glasses. It says first person and third person, and we took it down in our yesterday. Oh, I see Emma's got her daily fix-it in her book and that editing packet. She's amazing. Look at that. Emma, show them your books. Y'all see where she puts her daily fix-it in her editing packet?
Wow. I put my daily fix-it in my ELAR binder.
I put all my stuff in a stack.
Yeah, one of those, like, if you've got a folder, put it in the ELAR folder. Or like Emma, put them in your My View, because normally you would go from our My View into that stuff.
That's where I put all my stuff in.
Right? Normally we'll go,
Or like me, put them in a stack.
let's see, point of view. Let's go over this anchor chart, 121.
Fiction and realistic fiction. Fiction is a story involving made-up characters and events. Realistic fiction describes characters and events that could be real. The perspective from which a fictional story is told is the narrative point of view. In first-person point of view, the narrator or storyteller describes events from his or her own perspective using pronouns such as I, me, we, and us. In third-person point of view, the narrator is outside the action and describes events and the thoughts and feelings of characters using pronouns such as he, she, they, and them. The voice of the narrator, developed through an author's word choice, gives the story a unique sound. Turn and talk. With a partner, discuss different purposes for reading Westlandia and The Circuit. For example, you may want to compare the effects of narrators' points of view.
So, this is probably what we'll be discussing a little bit. How could the point of view change the effects on the story? What if, I'm trying to think of a story. I guess maybe be thinking about that. How the point of view could change the effects of the story when we're reading Westlandia and when you're reading stories in general. Because if it's first person, if it's the character telling the story versus an outsider, what would possibly change in that story?
Purpose for reading these texts.
The words.
Narrator. First person. A character in the story who is involved in the action. Effects of point of view. First person. Limits information to one person's view. Allows readers to connect more closely to narrator. Requires readers to determine whether narrator is reliable or trustworthy. Narrator. Third person. An outsider who is not involved in the action. Effects of point of view. Third person. Provides information on one or more characters. Allows readers to understand behaviors and motivations of one or many characters.
Okay, let's go back and read our story. Westlandia and the circuit. Come on.
What's the page?
24. It's our first one. No, diversity. 124. Are we there? Page Westlandia and the circuit. That one's in the third person. All right, let's see. Be looking for key pronouns in here that are going to tell us what point of view Westlandia is in.
Westlandia and the Circuit by Paul Fleischman and Francisco Jimenez.
Fleischman. Whoa,
Westland.
Look at his E up there in his name. Is it like that in the story? You see how the E's like larger?
Yeah. Of course he's miserable, moaned Wesley's mother. He sticks out. Like a nose, snapped his father. Listening through the heating vent, Wesley knew they were right. He was an outcast from the civilization around him. He alone in his town disliked pizza and soda, alarming his mother and the school nurse. He found professional football stupid. He'd refused to shave half his head, the hairstyle worn by all the other boys, despite his father's bribe of $5.
What point of view is this story in that you can tell? Is it first person or is it third person?
Third person.
Third person. Third person. You see his in there, he, and you can tell they're telling about what's his name? Wesley. Seems like he's an outcast in his town. So if he's an outcast in his town, does he fit in or does he not fit in to his town? He's an outcast. He doesn't fit in, yeah.
Passing his neighborhood's two styles of housing, garage on the left and garage on the right, Wesley alone dreamed of more exciting forms of shelter. He had no friends, but plenty of tormentors. Fleeing them was the only sport he was good at. Each afternoon, his mother asked him what he'd learned in school that day. That seeds are carried great distances by the wind, he answered on Wednesday. That each civilization has its staple food crop, he answered on Thursday. That school's over and I should find a good summer project, he answered on Friday. As always, his father mumbled, I'm sure you'll use that knowledge often. Suddenly, Wesley's thoughts shot sparks. His eyes blazed. His father was right. He could actually use what he'd learned that week for a summer project that would top all others. He would grow his own staple food crop and found his own civilization. The next morning, he turned over a plot of ground in his yard. That night, a wind blew in from the west. It raced through the trees and set his curtains snapping. Wesley lay awake, listening. His land was being planted. 5 days later, the first seedlings appeared. You'll have almighty bedlam on your hands if you don't get those weeds out, warned his neighbor. Actually, that's my crop, replied Wesley. In this type of garden, there are no weeds. Following ancient tradition, Wesley's fellow gardeners grew tomatoes, beans, Brussels sprouts, and nothing else.
What page
Wesley
is that?
found it thrilling to open his land to
Is it 125 or is it 125, right?
chance, to invite the new and unknown. The plants shot up past his knees, then his waist. They seemed to be all of the same sort. Wesley couldn't find them in any plant book. Are those tomatoes, beans, or Brussels sprouts? Asked Wesley's neighbor. None of the above, replied Wesley.
Charlie, 127. On paragraph, 17? No. 19. We're about to be on the next page.
Fruit
We're
appears
already on it.
Oh,
first
okay, I'm already on it.
to magenta. Wesley picked one and sliced through the rind to the juicy purple center. He took a bite and found the taste an entrancing blend of peach, strawberry, pumpkin pie, and flavors he had no name for. Ignoring the shelf of cereals in the kitchen, Wesley took to breakfasting on the fruit. He dried half a rind to serve as a cup, built his own squeezing device, and drank the fruit's juice throughout the day. Pulling up a plant, he found large tubers on the roots. These he boiled, fried, or roasted on the family barbecue, seasoning them with a pinch of the plant's highly aromatic leaves. It was hot work tending to his crop. To keep off the sun, Wesley wove himself a hat from strips of the plant's woody bark. His success with the hat inspired him to devise a spinning wheel and loom on which he wove a loose-fitting robe from the stalk's soft inner fibers. Unlike jeans, which he found scratchy and heavy, the robe was comfortable, reflected the sun, and offered myriad opportunities for pockets.
So look at that picture on, oh, that's a different, where's that picture at? On
And then you actually see what the kids' haircuts look like.
Oh yeah, that shows you the kids' haircuts. What do you think the kids are thinking about Wesley there? Like, look at those kids. Do they think he's like crazy?
He's a misfit. He's such a loser.
Like maybe he is. I don't know, a loser. I don't want to say he's a loser.
That's what they're probably thinking. Like, hey, he's a loser, and then they're like,
I mean,
I'm not a loser. I can survive.
I was about to say that I can survive. He's a loser because he can survive. If something were to come, he knows how to plant his food and plant flowers, and he has resources. Those kids look, I don't know, they look unique.
Yeah, it's like
They look like they're city boys.
Got like a whole crowd back there. You see
yeah,
him?
it looks like they have like a really weird city because like they have wacky hair. Even the girls.
I know that would not.
Yeah, you can see the kids peeking over the fence. You can just like, what the heck is he doing?
Okay, let's keep going.
That wouldn't be normal, I think.
Schoolmates were scornful, then curious. Grudgingly, Wesley allowed them 10 minutes apiece at his mortar, crushing the plant's seeds to collect the oil. This oil had a tangy scent and served him both as suntan lotion and mosquito repellent. He rubbed it on his face each morning and sold small amounts to his former tormentors at the price of $10 per bottle.
So now he's benefiting from being able to do all this. He's got a business going. Look, that little boy looks like he's getting bit by mosquitoes. He's got his hand around his neck.
$10? What?
Hey,
No wonder why he's buying it.
if they don't have access to bug spray, if you're in Texas, y'all know how in the summertime it gets crazy. The mosquitoes and stuff. So I would buy $10 bug spray. I don't know about
I know. I wonder how much the bug spray is if you need to put little.
Oh, okay, thank you. Oh, I'm in the middle of talking about the thing. What? Stations. Squirrels using. Okay, sorry. Bringing something over here. Anyways, let's keep going.
What's happened to your watch? Asked his mother one day. Wesley admitted that he no longer wore it. He told time by the stock that he used as a sundial and had divided the day into 8 segments, the number of petals on the plant's flowers.
This guy's unique.
He'd adopted a new counting system as well, based likewise upon the number 8. His domain, home to many such innovations, he named Westlandia.
First of all, y'all see this
Look at the girls' hair first. They all have the same hair. So the boys and the girls had the same hair. Not the
No,
girls.
that one in the purple skirt back there is woo. She's got some crazy hair. So he named his home Westlandia. That's where Westlandia comes from. Look at heat. It's not capitalized on page 20 on paragraph 29. Is it capitalized in the story? It's not capitalized on here. Do y'all see that? What? Revising and editing. It should be capitalized. Just throwing it out there. Daniel, pay attention.
Where is it?
On your book, it's capitalized, but on here, it's not. On the screen, on paragraph 29, it's not capitalized. Just pointing it. I don't know why it's not capitalized.
Uninterested in traditional sports, Wesley made up his own. These were designed for a single player and used many different parts of the plant. His spectators looked on with envy. Realizing that more players would offer him more scope, Wesley invented other games that would include his schoolmates, games rich with strategy and complex scoring systems.
Oh, is this how you're saying it looked like Harry Potter? Was it this part?
No, it's just a kid with his glasses.
I was thinking this looks like Harry Potter when they're playing that game. What's that game they play? Where they're on the broomsticks? Do y'all know what it's called? What that game's called? What is that game? Where they're on the broom?
I had the Lego one that I forgot.
What is it called? The game that they play when they're on their broomsticks?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Where they're on their broomsticks and they're playing, trying to score points. They're in their
You
groups.
can search it up
Why
and
is
look
the
it up.
girl's hair so crazy?
No clue. Let's keep going and see.
He tried to be patient with the other players' blunders. August was unusually hot. Wesley built himself a platform and took to sleeping in the middle of Westlandia. He passed the evenings playing
Daniel,
a flute he'd
put it
fashioned
up.
from a stock or gazing up at the sky, renaming the constellations. His parents noted Wesley's improved morale. "It's the first time in years he's looked happy," said his mother. Wesley gave them a tour of Westlandia. "What do you call this plant?" asked his father. Not knowing its name, Wesley had begun calling it Swiss, from the sound of its leaves rustling in the breeze. In like manner, he named his new fabrics, games, and foods until he'd created an entire language. Mixing the plant's oil with soot, Wesley made a passable ink. As the finale to his summer project, he used the ink and his own 80-letter alphabet to record the history of his civilization's founding. In September, Wesley returned to school. He had no shortage of friends.
Oh, so what? This is a very interesting story.
Oh, miss.
Now he has way more friends.
Miss.
But this
Why do you
is
think he
crazy.
has way more?
How he made a full civilization with just his brain.
Why do you think he has more friends now?
Hmm. I'm trying to think so. Trying to think.
Let me turn on this.
Yes.
Wait, why do we have two stories?
I searched it up wherever when you said what they play with broomsticks. It said Quidditch.
Quidditch, yes, but we shouldn't have been searching it up. Yes.
Why do we have two stories?
Because we're comparing points of view over two stories. So this one is from the third person point of view. We saw because we saw a bunch of pronouns like he, she. See what
This
story's point of view is.
is crazy. And it looks like now they have like normal hair. Like the kids
Oh,
have
yeah.
normal hair.
So from this story, the first story, do you think that's fiction or realistic fiction? I can already tell y'all some of y'all are gonna say realistic, but what do y'all think this genre of story?
I think it's fiction.
I think it's fiction.
It sounds like fiction because
I don't think you can actually do all of that. And the characters and the way they look and their appearances and the way, I guess, where it takes place, the setting doesn't seem too real to me.
look in the background. It just shows giant flowers.
Yeah, let's keep going and see what the point of view is in the next story.
The circuit. It was that time of year again. Ito, the strawberry sharecropper, did not smile. It was natural. The peak of the strawberry season was over, and the last few days the workers, most of them braceros, were not picking as many boxes as they had during the months of June and July.
So already, just from listening to this one paragraph, could this story be realistic fiction? Be something that really happens?
Up. Y-U-F-P.
Why do you say yes, Nella? Or why does anybody think it could be realistic fiction?
I don't know.
Let's keep going. Where is Natalie B? Natalie B.
As the last days of August disappeared, so did the number of braceros. Sunday, only one, the best picker, came to work. I liked him. Sometimes we talked during our half-hour lunch break. That is how I found out he was from Jalisco, the same state in Mexico my family was from. That Sunday was the last time I saw him.
What point of view is this story from?
Huh?
What point of view is this?
It's first because it says I.
The I and mine.
Mm-hmm.
When the sun had
Good job.
tired and sunk behind the mountains, Ito signaled us that it was time to go home. Ya sora, he yelled in his broken Spanish. Those were the words I waited for 12 hours a day, every day, 7 days a week, week after week. And the thought of not hearing them again saddened me. As we drove home, Papa did not say a word. With both hands on the wheel, he stared at the dirt road. My older brother, Roberto, was also silent. He leaned his head back and closed his eyes. Once in a while, he cleared from his throat the dust that blew in from outside. Yes, it was that time of year. When I opened the front door to the shack, I stopped. Everything we owned was neatly packed in cardboard boxes. Suddenly, I felt even more the weight of hours, days, weeks, and months of work. I sat down on a box. The thought of having to move to Fresno and knowing what was in store for me there brought tears to my eyes. That night, I could not sleep. I lay in bed thinking about how much I hated this move.
So he is about y'all's age. So think about being your age and working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, doing that work. This kid is about your age. Imagine having to do that hard manual labor at your age every day of the week. Think about that.
A little before 5 o'clock in the morning, Papa woke everyone up. A few minutes later, the yelling and screaming of my little brothers and sister, for whom the move was a great adventure, broke the silence of dawn. Shortly, the barking of the dogs accompanied them. While we packed the breakfast dishes, Papa went outside to start the carcachita. That was the name Papa gave his old black Plymouth. He bought it in a used car lot in Santa Rosa. Papa was very proud of his little jalopy. He had a right to be proud of it. He spent a lot of time looking at other cars before buying this one. When he finally chose the carcachita, he checked it thoroughly before driving it out of the car lot. He examined every inch of the car. He listened to the motor, tilting his head from side to side like a parrot, trying to detect any noises that spelled car trouble. After being satisfied with the looks and sounds of the car, Papa then insisted on knowing who the original owner was. He never did find out from the car salesman, but he bought the car anyway. Papa figured the original owner must have been an important man because behind the rear seat of the car, he found a blue necktie. Papa parked the car out in front and left the motor running. "Listo," he yelled. Without saying a word, Roberto and I began to carry the boxes out to the car. Roberto carried the 2 big boxes and I carried the 2 smaller ones. Papa then threw the mattress on top of the car roof and tied it with ropes to the front and rear bumpers. Everything was packed except Mama's pot. It was old, large galvanized pot she had picked up at an army surplus store in Santa Maria. The pot had many dents and nicks, and the more dents and nicks it acquired, the more Mama liked it. "Mi olla," she used to say proudly. I held the front door open as Mama carefully carried out her pot by both handles, making sure not to spill the cooked beans. When she got to the car, Papa reached out to help her with it. Roberto opened the rear car door and Papa gently placed it on the floor behind the front seat. All of us then climbed in. Papa sighed, wiped the sweat from his forehead with his sleeve, and said wearily, "Es todo." As we drove away, I felt a lump in my throat. I turned around and looked at our little shack for the last time. At sunset, we drove into a labor camp near Fresno. Since Papa did not speak English, Mama asked the camp foreman if he needed any more workers. "We don't need no more," said the foreman, scratching his head. "Check with Sullivan down the road. Can't miss him. He lives in a big white house with a fence around it." When we got there, Mama walked up to the house. She went through a white gate, past a row of rose bushes, up the stairs to the house. She rang the doorbell. The porch light went on and a tall, husky man came out. They exchanged a few words. After the man went in, Mama clasped her hands and hurried back to the car. "We have work!" Mr. Sullivan said we can stay there the whole season, she said, gasping and pointing to an old garage near the stables. The garage was worn out by the years. It had no windows. The walls, eaten by termites, strained to support the roof full of holes. The dirt floor, populated by earthworms, looked like a gray road map. That night, by the light of a kerosene lamp, we unpacked and cleaned our new home. Roberto swept away the loose dirt, leaving the hard ground. Papa plugged the holes in the walls with old newspapers and tin can tops. Mama fed my little brothers and sister. Papa and Roberto then brought in the mattress and placed it on the far corner of the garage. Mama, you and the little ones sleep on the mattress. Roberto, Panchito, and I will sleep outside under the trees, Papa said. Early the next morning, Mr. Sullivan showed us where his crop was, and after breakfast, Papa, Roberto, and I headed for the vineyard to pick.
So they're staying in a garage on a mattress. Y'all see that? Imagine living like that. That's crazy.
Around 9 o'clock, the temperature had risen to almost 100 degrees. I was completely soaked in sweat and my mouth felt as if I had been chewing on a handkerchief. I walked over to the end of the row, picked up the jug of water we had brought, and began drinking. Don't drink too much. You'll get sick, Roberto shouted. No sooner had he said that than I felt sick to my stomach. I dropped to my knees and let the jug roll off my hands. I remained motionless with my eyes glued on the hot, sandy ground. All I could hear was the drone of insects. Slowly, I began to recover. I poured water over my face and neck and watched the dirty water run down my arms to the ground. I still felt dizzy when we took a break to eat lunch. It was past 2 o'clock and we sat underneath a large walnut tree that was on the side of the road. While we ate, Papa jotted down the number of boxes we had picked. Roberto drew designs on the ground with a stick. Suddenly, I noticed Papa's face turn pale as he looked down the road. Here
Daniel.
comes the school bus, he whispered loudly in alarm. Instinctively, Roberto and I ran and hid in the vineyards. We did not want to get in trouble for not going to school. The neatly dressed boys about my age got off. They carried books under their arms. After they crossed the street, the bus drove away. Roberto and I came out from hiding and joined Papa. Tienen que tener cuidado, he warned us. After lunch, we went back to work. The sun kept beating down. The buzzing insects, the wet sweat, and the hot, dry dust made the afternoon seem to last forever. Finally, the mountains around the valley reached out and swallowed the sun. Within an hour, it was too dark to continue picking. The vines blanketed the grapes, making it difficult to see the bunches. Vámonos, said Papa, signaling to us that it was time to quit work. Papa then took out a pencil and began to figure out how much we had earned our first day. He wrote down numbers, crossed some out, wrote down some more. 15, he murmured. When we arrived home, we took a cold shower underneath a water hose. We then sat down to eat dinner around some wooden crates that served as a table. Mama had cooked a special meal for us. We had rice and tortillas with carne con chile, my favorite dish. The next morning, I could hardly move. My body ached all over. I felt little control over my arms and legs. This feeling went on every morning for days until my muscles finally got used to the work. It was Monday, the first week of November. The grape season was over and I could now go to school. I woke up early that morning and lay in bed, looking at the stars and savoring the thought of not going to work and of starting 6th grade for the first time that year. Since I could not sleep, I decided to get up and join Papa and Roberto at breakfast. I sat at the table across from Roberto, but I kept my head down. I did not want to look up and face him. I knew he was sad. He was not going to school today. He was not going tomorrow, or next week, or next month. He would not go until the cotton season was over, and that was sometime in February. I rubbed my hands together and watched the dry, acid-stained skin fall to the floor in little rolls.
So unlike y'all that get the opportunity to go to school all the time, this little boy, I guess he's older. He has to work more and he doesn't get to go as often. He only goes about maybe 4 or 5 months a year to school.
When Papa and Roberto left for work, I felt relief. I walked to the top of a small grade next to the shack and watched the Carcachita disappear in the distance in a cloud of dust. 2 hours later, around 8 o'clock, I stood by the side of the road waiting for the school bus number 20. When it arrived, I climbed in. Everyone was busy either talking or yelling. I sat in an empty seat in the back. When the bus stopped in front of the school, I felt very nervous. I looked out the bus window and saw boys and girls carrying books under their arms. I put my hands in my pant pockets and walked to the principal's office. When I entered, I heard a woman's voice say, "May I help you?" I was startled. I had not heard English for months. For a few seconds, I remained speechless. I looked at the lady who waited for an answer. My first instinct was to answer her in Spanish, but I held back. Finally, after struggling for English words, I managed to tell her that I wanted to enroll in the 6th grade. After answering many questions, I was led to the classroom. Mr. Lema, the 6th grade teacher, greeted me and assigned me a desk. He then introduced me to the class. I was so nervous and scared at that moment when everyone's eyes were on me that I wished I were there with Papa and Roberto picking cotton. After taking roll, Mr. Lema gave the class the assignment for the first hour. "The first thing we have to do this morning is finish reading the story we began yesterday," he said enthusiastically. He walked up to me, handed me an English book, and asked me to read. "We are on page 125, he said politely. When I heard this, I felt my blood rush to my head. I felt dizzy. "Would you like to read?" he asked hesitantly. I opened the book to page 125. My mouth was dry. My eyes began to water. I could not begin. "You can read later," Mr. Lema said understandingly.
So why can't he read as well as everybody else?
Because he doesn't speak English that much.
Speak English? What else maybe?
He hasn't heard English in a long
English in a long time. What else is another reason that could possibly be why he can't read very well? What else does he do outside?
He's been doesn't really go to school that long.
Doesn't really go to school that much, right? It said he didn't start until November. Y'all start in August, so he's missed August, September, October, November. He's probably missed about 3, maybe 4 months of school because he has to work to help provide for his family. So that's probably a big reason why he can't read, and also because he doesn't maybe speak that much English or doesn't speak it as well.
English book to page 125. I began to read in a low voice, pretending I was in class. There were many words I did not know. I closed the book and headed back to the classroom. Mr. Lema was sitting at his desk correcting papers. When I entered, he looked up at me and smiled. I felt better. I walked up to him and asked if he could help me with the new words. "Gladly," he said. The rest of the month, I spent my lunch hours working on English with Mr. Lema, my best friend at school. One Friday during lunch hour, Mr. Lema asked me to take a walk with him to the music room. "Do you like music?" he asked me as we entered the building. "Yes, I like corridos," I answered. He then picked up a trumpet, blew on it, and handed it to me. The sound gave me goosebumps. I knew that sound. I had heard it in many corridos. "How would you like to learn how to play it?" he asked. He must have read my face because before I could answer, he added, "I'll teach you how to play it during our lunch hours." That day, I could hardly wait to tell Papa and Mama the great news. As I got off the bus, my little brothers and sister ran up to me. They were yelling and screaming. I thought they were happy to see me, but when I opened the door to our shack, I saw that everything we owned was neatly packed in cardboard boxes.
Oh no.
Westlandia.
He was just fitting in. What's happening?
Moving.
They're moving. So that's what happens to a lot of those migrant, I guess maybe they're migrant workers, I guess. They go wherever the work is. So they may start this summer picking strawberries and watermelons, maybe down in South Texas, but maybe by winter, maybe they're up in the Midwest picking potatoes, or maybe they're up in the Northeast picking berries during the season. They have to go wherever the work is because they don't have, that is their work. And if y'all know, crops are not the same every season.
Man, I feel bad for the kid because
I know, he was just fitting in, right? That's crazy.
he was just about to play his instrument.
So this was told from the little boy's point of view, right? So it gave us a lot of insight into what? What did it give us a lot of insight into? Because we're not going to be doing a lot out of the book anymore. Page 150. So by the little boy telling the story, what does it give us a lot of insight into? Or what does it tell us a lot about? I'll give us a lot of details about
his life and like how
life. It gives us a lot of details about his life and specifically his feelings. You can feel what he's feeling about, like Anella said, oh, I kind of feel bad for him because he was just about to learn how to play that instrument, right? If it were told from another person's point of view, if it were told from my point of view, maybe you wouldn't understand how he felt, or I guess how he felt at that time, because it was told from a different point of view. Maybe they wouldn't be as detailed in their feelings.
Yeah, because not as much people know about you, even if they're like your parents or your siblings.
Yeah, he's able to give a lot of details into how he feels, or even just the way he writes some of those sentences gave you an insight to how he felt about certain situations.
Yeah, because you could tell that he has to work a lot. He doesn't go to school a lot. He doesn't know how to speak English a lot.
But by the end of the story, you could probably understand, though, even though he didn't learn how to speak English very well or was scared to read, what happened? Was he willing to learn how to read?
Yes.
He was willing to learn how to read because it told us he spent a lot of time during his lunch.
At least we know the kid's successful.
Yeah, it seems like
I just feel like his parents weren't as good, though.
yes.
You can tell the kid's successful because in the beginning of the story it says that the author is based on his life. So then, if he's an author, he has to write, and also he has to draw or take pictures.
So,
I think the realistic fiction there's actually real photographs.
okay, so it says complete these sentences to demonstrate. Yeah, so was this realistic before I go on? Was this realistic fiction? It probably was like, or not.
There
Or,
were real pictures in the story.
yeah, there's actual pictures, not illustrations, which are text features.
I don't know if it's real or not because there are actual pictures.
Yeah, but illustrations, they can still kind of
I said kind of.
go pictures.
All right, so
Fiction.
these sentences to demonstrate the word meanings, then use each word to describe a character in Westlandia. So if a character recovers, he or she what? What was our word, our vocabulary meaning for that? Recovers. Who has their journal nearby? Ooh, who has their journal nearby? Any of y'all? Do y'all remember what recover means? Recover. Do y'all remember what recover means?
Recover means
It's to grow fat or something like that. I think it was.
improve.
To improve?
Well,
Yeah, to improve. What is this?
oh yeah, to improve. I don't get that though.
Yeah.
That was a long story. So we are definitely not reading that against Mark.
Yeah.
So
don't-
what do I do on the there's how come there's another side? What do we do on the other side?
Hold on, looking for the page.
What do we do on the other side?
So to improve, I'm gonna put that. Hold on. I guess we can write it over here. We'll write the meaning over here. So we'll put to improve.
But then what's the other part for?
It says describe or use each word to describe a character in Westlandia. Panchito. This is talking about on page, what is this, 143. 143, it says, oh, right here. I dropped to my knees and let the jug roll off my hands. I remained motionless with my eyes glued on the hot sandy ground. All I could hear was the drone of insects. Slowly, I began to recover. I poured water over my face and neck and watched the dirty water run down my arms to the ground. So who used, I guess, the water to help recover? It was Panchito, wasn't it? Oh, I lost my page.
What do you mean you lost your page?
Oh, this is on my page right here.
The page with the words?
Slowly recovers from drinking too much water. Oh, he was drinking too much water. So Panchito slowly. This was a long story. He recovers from drinking. Why are you all so quiet? Drinking. Okay, drinking too much water. I'm getting this down. Most importantly, vocabulary is what you need to know. Thrilling. Something thrilling is something that is.
He drank too much water? I feel like that's impossible.
I think maybe he drank it too much too fast.
Well, I mean, it is possible to get sick from drinking too much water, but
You can drink too much water.
You have to drink a lot of water to get sick from water.
Yeah, like 10 bottles a day.
Probably more than that.
10 gallons a day.
50 gallons. Like 50 gallons.
What's thrilling mean? What's thrilling mean? Where's y'all's vocabulary?
Surprising.
Surprising. What else? What did y'all write in your journals? Where are those journals at?
What's the word?
Thrilling.
Thrilling? Surprising?
Y'all what you in the story? We are close.
Surprising.
What y'all write in your journals? Where are y'all?
Exciting. I didn't even look at my book. I remembered it.
Exciting. Who found it thrilling to grow their crops on land wherever? Is it the first story or the second story? Daniel, we're writing this down. I don't see your hand moving.
I think it might be the first one, because in the second one, they're picking. They're not growing.
Wesley found.
It's so cold in here.
To
It's so cold in my house.
grow anywhere.
Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
For like 40 minutes, the power's going to be out and it's so cold in my house.
Okay. Get a jacket. Maybe that'll help. Y'all should be writing this. I'm not writing it for nothing. Some of y'all look miserable sitting in class every day. On to our next word.
We are
What does miserable mean?
unhappy.
I don't know why. I think if y'all were in class, it would be y'all wouldn't be as unhappy if you were at home.
We would have been more unhappy.
I don't think so.
Well,
As long as it's not cold in the school, I guess I would be happy.
perfect in my room because it's never cold. It's hot.
Well, my head hurts. Nah, I like home better.
You should.
Miserable. So maybe who was miserable? Who felt miserable at the beginning of their story?
I remember it said the mom said Wesley was miserable or something like that. That's what the mom said. Something like that.
Wesley felt miserable because he was an outcast. Because he was an outcast, so he didn't fit in because he wanted to be growing his own stuff. How we literally got through the story and this page and maybe a couple things left, and that's it today. This morning. Oh, we could kind of do part of that. Savoring. What does savoring mean? Savoring. I am savoring this moment. Savoring. Oh, you can't tell. That's a B. L-E. Savoring. When are you savoring a thought? You are what? Come on, y'all wake up. Lost participation level some days is just, I don't know.
So which one was our story, our real story?
What do you mean?
Like we had two stories. What was our real
We
story?
don't have a real story. They're
That was
both. They're both of it.
Because we're comparing point of view. Because one was third person point of view and another was first person point of view. So it was showing us two different points of views.
Gotta
Oh,
put text info.
Yeah. When you are savoring a thought, you are what? Savoring. What does savoring mean?
hold on.
I'm savoring the
My
moment.
mind is leading myself to it.
Savoring.
Remember?
Remember.
Save.
Completely enjoying or enjoying.
Enjoying. Yes.
Oh.
Text info. It's on page 146.
Completely enjoying. Enjoying or completely enjoying? I just put enjoying. Who is savoring in the moment? Oh. Who is enjoying going to school?
Panchito. Panchito. Cheeto.
Cheeto. Panchito.
I feel like the parents were bad.
I actually know how to pronounce it. I'm just
I
saying
feel
it
like
just to
the
make it.
parents were bad. They are putting their children into child labor, and I feel like they weren't even doing anything.
But the story was set like back in the 20s or 30s, if you tell by the pictures. So that was okay back then. A lot of kids work. Y'all's age, a lot of kids would work with their parents. If they didn't work during school, they would work after school, or during the summers, they would work to help make money for their families because they didn't make very much money. There it said he made 15. I don't know if that means they made 15 cents that day or they made $15. Either way, 15 cents or $15 a day is not very much money.
Every penny counts.
So If you have 2 or 3 people in your family that are working, making cents or $15 a day, that's a little bit better. But it also comes with the sacrifice of your kids working for with you. And maybe they're missing out on education like he was. Anyways. That. Do we have this down? Natalie B, I don't hear you. I don't have very much to do. We have this down?
I am so tired.
We're always so tired.
Yes. in
You're
the
always
morning.
tired or hungry. Yesterday you're hungry. Now you're tired.
Okay, let's move on. We can do one quick page.
She's trying her best, okay?
Yeah, 156. Let's go over our spelling patterns since these are hard.
Spelling patterns.
That's probably all we're getting done. 156.
Next story is about poetry, I think.
I know, isn't it?
Yay.
I am looking forward to it.
It's, I don't know why I'm happy.
Are you ready for this? So it says use your knowledge of syllable patterns and open and close syllables to decode and divide the words in the chart. Use print or online dictionary to check for correct syllabication. So habit. Oh, isn't that one of our spelling words?
Yeah.
Habit. Is it a short A or a long A? Habit.
Long A.
Where's my, hold on, let me use my spelling book. Habit. Find my notes. Because I'm just like y'all. It is habit. So we're supposed to put a break. Habit. Habit. And it goes after. Oh, did I throw that paper away? It's actually a short A, Natalie.
So it's vowel, consonant slash V.
When it is a short A, it's vowel, consonant slash V. I should probably put that. Short vowel. That's what that means. Yeah, I don't have to put this. Result. Ooh, that's a long, isn't it? Result. Result. Is it a long R in result? Result.
Yes.
So it's going to be RESULT, and there's going to be the split. Right there.
Vowel, consonant, vowel.
Yeah, vowel slash CV. Long. Ooh, ooh. Ooh. Are we in here yet? This is why this spelling notebook is going to be so important this week for your test. It's going to be so important. Why are you telling you? Charlie, are you on this page? 156. If y'all see Miss Lowry jump in here, y'all let me know, okay? Cubic. Is that a long U or a short U? Cubic.
Long U.
Woo! Bingo. So it'd be CU slash VIC. So V.
So vowel slash consonant. No, vowel.
Now you're getting it. I'm gonna put LV here so we know. LV. No, modern's the one I missed up earlier, isn't it? Right?
Yes.
My bad.
Modern.
56. Come on, y'all stay on task. It's a short morning today. We should all be extra.
Yeah. But isn't it almost time for?
It is. That's why y'all should be more attentive. This is a shorter morning.
Let's hurry.
I'm gonna take time. Modern. Modern. Is the O short or long? Modern. You just say it quick, right?
Short.
Yeah, you don't say it long. You don't say modern. You just say modern, right? So it's BC and it's MOD/ERN. Modern. You use that alarm too. That's me in the morning. Constantly snoozing my alarm.
Isn't it time for music?
Good. We've got one more.
Oh, I'm already done with it. That's why.
Elizabeth, you're staying on this Zoom. Don't leave. Miss Lowry should be coming in. Anyways. Vivid. Is it short I or long I? Vivid.
Short.
Bingo. So then what is it again? What pattern? Syllable pattern.
VC/V.
Ooh, girl. You're good. SE. So VC/V. So VI.
How is Adela always so awake in the morning?
Probably goes to bed early. Or he's always alert.
I eat breakfast.
Maybe. That's important.
I eat breakfast.
cereal.
Go to bed earlier.
Yeah, I try to. It doesn't work.
Do my work, but I don't talk. That's all I do. I just do.
I
My
ate a whole bowl of cereal this morning, so it's
Me
not
too.
I don't know. I don't wait. Maybe just I have a lot of energy because I don't drink coffee or anything.
Coffee makes me tired.
Coffee?